It's the biggest weekend of the year when it comes to wrestling fans. WrestleMania weekend with WrestleMania 27 coming up on Sunday night. Brian Fritz here from BetweenTheRopes.com. Joining me, Kevin Eck from the Ring Post blog at Baltimore Sun. And we've just witnessed the Hall of Fame. 7 new people going in to the Hall, including the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So, Kevin, give me your thoughts about what you saw tonight here, seeing Shawn Michaels and all the others being inducted.
Well, obviously for me, as you know, a big Shawn Michaels fan, so this was really a special moment for me. The Flair thing was big because I grew up obviously a big Ric Flair fan, but this one a little bit more special. I was one of those guys who always thought Shawn was the greatest of all time, and so to be here on this night, and you could tell, I think, when you heard Shawn's speech, it was really heartfelt, and it was special to be here and be a part of it.
Yeah, it sure was. It was quite the speech, too. Incredible from the standpoint that Shawn said he wanted to keep it a little bit short. Didn't want to be one of those guys that had the show dragging on. And I got the fans thinking about Ric Flair, a guy that he said he was not allowed to mention, which was quite the curious moment. But the Nature Boy Ric Flair was, in fact, here at the end of the show. We even saw the Clique get back together, Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman coming back on stage to join Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So others going in, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We saw Bullet Barb Armstrong. We even saw Sunny, the original Diva, get inducted, and the Road Warriors, of course, no Hawk with him passing away several years ago. We did see Animal and Paul Ellering get back together, which was altogether quite an interesting evening, I'd say, Kevin.
No doubt. And, I thought we kicked it off on the right note, too. I thought Hacksaw Jim Duggan really gave also a heartfelt speech. And, a lot of the guys put over their families, and I think sometimes fans don't realize, how long these guys are away from their families, especially back in Duggan's day when he was with the WWF in the 80s, when they had these where they had a couple days off a month.
Yeah.
So, something to hear that. You always like to hear the guys talk about their wives and their kids and the sacrifices that they made so they could do this. But, just to hear Hacksaw Jim Duggan out of character. You rarely hear him doing anything but USA and the whole, all that. Mm-hmm. So just to hear him out of character, I thought was really cool.
And the other person that went in, Drew Carey, went into the Celebrity Hall of Fame, and a guy that did get booed, but he said, you know what? He goes, I'm skinny, I'm rich, I'm famous, and you're not, so I'll take it, you can boo me all you want. Of course, the big show coming up on Sunday night, WrestleMania 27, where we will see The Rock return to WWE officially on that event. He will be hosting. Of course, we've got John Cena taking on The Miz, and what's now expected to be the final match on that show as they will compete for the WWE Championship. We have Edge taking on Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship, and of course the legends collide. Triple H taking on The Undertaker. Very interesting card, and a lot of people really buzzing about this one, I think.
No doubt. I remember just a few months back, people were saying, a lot of pundits, wrestling fans, wow, Mania is not going to be that good this year. Yeah. There's no matchups on paper. It's just not going to be that good. And I think I said this on my show, on Ring Post Extra, never underestimate Vince McMahon, because he's going to put something special together. He always does. And no doubt, this card, I'm very interested in the Triple H Undertaker match, Cena and Miz, and what The Rock's going to do. Edge and Alberto Del Rio, I'm very interested in seeing. Michael Cole, a year ago, if I would have said Michael Cole is going to be one of the hottest heels in the business and in one of the most anticipated matches at WrestleMania, who would have believed that? Jerry Lawler finally getting his WrestleMania appearance. Randy Orton and CM Punk. I'm very anxious to see all of it.
Yeah, I am too, and I know you're going to give your predictions on your Ring Post blog.
Because I'm still trying to come up with them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think what people are thinking right now when it comes to who is actually going to win. I think a couple of the curious things I'll be looking out for. Will Jim Ross actually be a part of the show with Michael Cole, the lead announcer, is going to be a part of the show? Will Jim Ross return to the announce booth? He has not said anything about that. Of course, he probably cannot say anything about it, but I think a lot of people are hoping that we actually see good old JR come back. And then also, obviously, with the return of The Rock, what exactly is his interaction going to be? He recently said, people go to the movies, you watch for the final 5 to 10 minutes, the best moments. Be watching for the final 5 to 10 minutes when it comes to WrestleMania.
And I think not only those final 5 to 10 minutes, but I think the next night on Raw, which The Rock's going to be a part of, I think that's going to be very, very interesting. And we're going to have a pretty good idea, I think, after Monday of what's going to happen next as far as The Rock and WWE.
I do think, I'm one of the people that has said for a little while now since we've seen Rock come back, I do think he's going to get back in the ring. Not exactly sure when. My guess would be WrestleMania 28 next year. A lot can happen between now and then. I think Rock has kind of given himself this window for a return, but are you among one of the people that says, hey, sooner or later, Rock's going to get back in the match and face off against Cena?
I am now, and just within the past week or so, I started to feel that way. Before that, I took him at his word when he said in a lot of interviews, one he did with me when he was promoting the Gridiron Gang. He said, I love that part of my life, and I accomplished everything I wanted to do, but that's over. Respectfully, that's over, and I'm doing this. So to have him come back now, and all of a sudden he's open to the idea of doing a match, and certainly the way they're building this up, I mean, they almost have to do it now, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do. Sooner or later, and WrestleMania next year seems like a great time to have it, especially with it taking place in Miami, Florida, the hometown of The Rock.
Perfect.
Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it. Everybody can follow, of course, you on the Ring Post blog and the BaltimoreSun.com. Should be a fun night. WrestleMania 27 coming up on Sunday. For BetweenTheRopes.com, this is Brian Fritz.